Days after revealing that country singer Rory Feek is not her biological father, Hopie Feek, who was raised by the star, is weighing in on his public response. Hopie, 36, wrote on Instagram on Tuesday, February 11 that she was extremely disappointed by a blog post shared earlier that day by Rory, in which he shared personal details of the family's history, including those of her mother, who was previously married to the star. Hopie grew up alongside her sister Heidi, 38, believing that Rory, who raised the girls after splitting from their mom, was her dad. But in an Instagram video shared on February 8, she revealed that a recent 23andMe test had determined her biological father was actually a man named BC, with whom she's gotten really close over the last 6 months. "I've never experienced unconditional love like that before," she said in her video of meeting BC 3 days after Hopie shared the development publicly. Rory, 59, discussed the news in a post shared to his blog titled A Different Dad. The singer said that he'd been getting ready for the day on February 6 when Hopie called him out of the blue asking to speak in person. The two hadn't seen each other in a year, and Rory wrote that her call felt like an answer to a prayer. "I had no idea what she wanted to talk with me about. And honestly, it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to see her," he wrote. "To have the opportunity to look into her eyes and her look into mine, with hopes that she might realize that we aren't enemies, and that I love her deeply. And looking back now, I can't help but think my wish came true. Although in a way that I never expected." In a conversation that took place in the cemetery where Rory's late wife Joey is buried, Hopie shared with him the results of her 23andMe test, which she'd taken after her mother said there was a good chance Rory was not her biological father. In response, Rory said that while he did not know, he wasn't entirely surprised by the news. He went on to explain why he always had suspicions that Hopie was not his, including how she arrived several weeks past her due date, which did not align with when he had returned from a 6-month deployment with the Marines. He also revealed that when he and his ex-wife divorced, he asked point-blank whether Hopie was his child, and was told she was. "I told Hopie that I guess a part of me knew. But more than that, I told her I didn't care. That this news and this blood test doesn't change anything for me. I love you as my daughter and I always will," he wrote. Rory then went on to share details of Heidi and Hopie's childhood, including the few times they saw their mother while growing up in Rory's care. He went on to say he was thankful for the chance to let Hopie know how much he loves her. "I'm disappointed and sad that it took 3 decades to learn this. But the truth is, I'm mostly hurt for Hopie," he wrote. "Hopie has such a tender heart, filled with childlike wonder and light, even in the darkest of days. It's heartbreaking that she has had to deal with such an incredible amount of pain and loss in her relatively short life." That same day, Hopie took to Instagram to express her frustration with Rory's blog post, writing in a statement that when they spoke in person, her only request was that he be kind and not shame my mom, with whom Hopie has only recently reconnected. Today, he shared her private history in his blog, which is extremely disappointing, she wrote. "I shared my story because I couldn't keep the secret all to myself anymore. I'm really not a public person, but because Rory is, my private life becomes content for his fans, who are often unkind online." She went on to say that she regrets sharing with Rory that she is bisexual, as she feels he used the information to sell books, and shared a clip of him narrating the chapter in his 2018 memoir, Once Upon a Farm, in which he discusses her sexuality. "From now on, I just wish my stories could be my own to tell and share," she wrote. "I want to move forward and find happiness with the people who love me, far away from this online hate." The posts come months after Heidi, Hopie and Rory spoke publicly about their disagreements over the care of Rory's daughter Indiana, 10, whom he shared with Joey. The star's older daughters have made attempts to reopen a line of communication with the child, while Rory has said he stopped allowing Indiana to visit Heidi and Hopie because they refused to respect my wishes when she was in their care. Heidi previously claimed that Indiana was not safe, as Rory and his new wife Rebecca are raising her within Homestead Heritage, a faith-based community that Heidi claimed in an Instagram post has a troubling history relating to child safety, an allegation the group strenuously denies. Heidi was sued by Homestead Heritage for defamation in September, but has said she will continue to speak out for the sake of her sister.